Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how I grow lettuce year-round. It's the Christmas season, so it does get pretty cold outside. So I thought this would be a great video to kind of show you guys how it's done. And plus, my mom always wants to be able to grow hydroponics inside, so hopefully she likes this video. So let me get started by showing you guys my grow light setup. My grow light setup is basically two shelves. I've got 4 lights on each level, and I have a longer video of how I determined how much light I need to grow lettuce. So I'll link that in the description below. Now that I've shown you guys my light setup, let's get into the fun part. So it's pretty simple on the things that you need to grow lettuce inside. I do a Kratky hydroponic system to grow my lettuce inside. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically the theory that you grow your lettuce in a container that doesn't require any additional energy. It's very common in off-grid growing situations where you don't have a lot of electricity or any sort of like running water to facilitate pumping the nutrient solution to your plants. So the idea is you pretty much fill up your cup to a certain level wherever the roots kind of come down. So you'll see I've got this pot here. So you would basically fill it up to this particular level on your cup, and then the roots then grow down and drink the water from the system below. So it's a pretty cool idea, and you can do it as to like basically tomato plant size plants, but they need basically like a 5-gallon jug or even bigger because they just consume so many nutrients. So yeah, so basically to get this Kratky system set up, I have a pot here. I chose a ceramic one instead of a glass mason jar, which I've done in my videos before, because the sunlight will actually penetrate the glass jars, and then the nutrient solution in there will actually bloom into algae, and that algae will basically consume all the nutrients so that your plants don't have access to the nutrients as well, or they're competing against them, which makes it pretty difficult. So that's why I found these cheap ceramic IKEA mugs from a thrift store when I went thrifting with my wife. Definitely recommend using something like this, and it's always good when you can thrift it, so you're not wasting or buying new things. So yeah, and then from there I have this basket. So this basket is very important. This is where we put our perlite, our growing medium for doing the hydroponic system. I choose perlite not because it's the best growing medium, but because you can buy it pretty much at any big box store like Home Depot. And it works great. So that's why I kind of use this, just because it's easy to grab. If I run out, I can just go to the store and grab it. I don't have to order it on Amazon and wait a long time. So yeah, so I use this, standard perlite. I have another video, perlite in 100 seconds. You guys can check that one out as well. It's pretty entertaining. So yeah, so then you basically have this perlite stone that you pour into this basket. And then we'll have, this is just the nutrient hydroponic solution. I use Fox Farms. There's so many out there. Most of them aren't organic that I've learned, because it takes a lot of energy to create this concentrate. And so a lot of that's done through, a machine process and not an organic process. But as basically they've said since COVID, and people are doing a lot more hydroponic farming and stuff like that, they've really done a lot more research in organic concentrates for growing your plants. So hopefully in the next, 5 to 10 years, they'll have a better organic solution. But for now, this is probably my favorite option. There's also like ones where you can mix it. So just look around, but yeah, I'll link this in the description below as well. And then yeah, you gotta choose your favorite lettuce. I like doing the Paris Island romaine lettuce that I usually get. Super easy, makes really nice heads that then I can trim off and give them to people. So yeah, those are really all the things you need. And then on top of that, this is kind of a pro move. Not saying I'm a pro at this, but this is kind of the professional move, is a 1-gallon jug. It makes it a lot easier to mix your solution inside this 1-gallon jug, so that, because most of the measurements on these hydroponic plant food is based off a gallon jug or 4 liters. So it's really nice to have this, and then you can just measure it out, and then you'll have the solution already pre-mixed. So when you need to refill your pots that have the hydroponic solution, you can do it super easily. So highly recommend doing something like this. yeah, so let's get started giving this a try. It's super simple. I like to say anybody can do it, but I've said that about a lot of things and it took me, I don't know, 10 times to perfect it. So if you fail the first time, don't worry about it. It happens to all of us. We've all been there. So yeah, so basically I just come in here, got my perlite in my bag. We're gonna come in here and just scoop it out. A little of this, a little shake in there, and then boom. So we've got our perlite basically sitting in this cage, and you can see the openings in this cage allow for the roots to kind of seep through and get into the nutrient solution below. So after we do this, we're gonna just basically plop this in here. These are kind of small. I would prefer to have little bigger cups, but you know, these were the cheapest ones I could find. They were at a thrift store. So they were the best ones I could find at the time. And they were only like 50 cents each. So instead of having a larger cup that, you know, I don't have to refill as often, the downside of this is I have to check them every couple days, because when the plant gets bigger, it really starts to suck it up, or suck up the nutrients in the water, and there's not much water left in there. So I just be a little bit more diligent. So now that we've got this in here, I basically just take a few seeds, you know, per usual, you know, look at how much it say, you know, like three or four. So put them in there. We'll do a little finger jab, sprinkle them in there. There we go. Plop that on top. Perfect. Okay, so now we've got it kind of preset. So you're thinking, okay, well, that's not going to germinate anyway. So to initiate germination, to start the seed, get it to kind of make its first couple leaves, is we basically just have to soak the perlite with plain water. We don't want to use the nutrient solution at the moment, because if you use the nutrient solution at the moment, you're going to end up with this, pull this over here, this algae kind of on top of it, because when the grow light starts to hit the solution on top, it converts it into algae, leaving that like green stain on top of your plants. So for now, until basically the roots penetrate the bottom of the cage, you'll want to just keep watering it with just clean, fresh water. So there's no algae bloom, and you don't have to deal with that going forward. So yeah, so let me grab a little bit of water. We'll water this up. All right, perfect. So we got this water here. I'll just kind of pour it on top. Oh my gosh, this is a fail. Oh my gosh, I should have got my watering can. But yeah, we're just basically getting this, oh my gosh, all filled with water. That was a complete fail, but like I said, it's okay. We all make mistakes together. Should have just went upstairs, got the can, watered it. Now I just got water everywhere. So it happens to the best of us, but it's all fun and games, you know. Gardening, you're supposed to make mistakes in gardening and hydroponics, so you know, don't worry about it. It's just a little water. So yeah, so now that I poured it in, the perlite basically will soak up all the water and kind of create a cocoon of moisture to hopefully trigger germination and sprout my plants. The reason I like to do it already in the Kratky system is that, like, you're definitely going to over pour water. So it's super easy just to pull this up and then let the water drain a little bit and then just pour the water out once it overflows. This just allows you to keep rehydrating the perlite. I do this every couple of days during germination process. So for about probably the first week and a half, you're going to keep doing this until the seed or the seedling has penetrated deep enough to actually reach the water at the bottom of the Kratky system. So yeah, that was pretty much it. So basically I'm just gonna move this thing under the grow light, then I'll do a little YouTube magic, fast forward, and then kind of show you guys how to maintain your hydroponic system and keep them growing nice and strong. All right, let's imagine it's 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks later, and you've had a successful hydroponic system. This is what it would look like. I have 4 or 5 plants in here that I haven't thinned down, so that's kind of my fault. I've been out of town for a week, and yeah, I just haven't had time to thin them down and kind of got a little lazy. So that's on me. I know you guys are going to be better than that. So let's be honest. I'm just, sometimes get lazy, but that's the benefit of hydroponics. You can leave for a week. As long as you got enough nutrient solution in your containers, your lettuce will continue to thrive. Make sure your grow lights are on, have a grow light timer. So they switch off, for 8 hours a day or on for 16 or some number like that. And it'll be a really successful situation. Now that you've made it past the hard part of getting the seeds to germinate and you've got this successful plant, it's all about just maintaining at this point, continually just every 2 to 3 days, checking how much water you have in, adding more water, thinning as needed, and just keep monitoring your plants as they grow. It's pretty simple at this point. The hardest part is the germination. So if you've got past that part, and your plant's looking healthy and strong, then it's really just, let's keep giving it nutrients and keep making it happy. So this is what I do every, 2 to 3 days. I basically go to my grow light setup, and I do this on all my hydroponic system, or all my Kratky hydroponic systems. I basically just pull them out. You'll just see, wow. Isn't this cool? This was from seed. Didn't have to do anything else. So I basically come in here and I'll check the water level. I know where the water level needs to be based off of how deep this basket is. And I like to make sure the water level sits just below the basket so that the roots have enough space to have airflow, but also you can maximize how much water is in here. It's really important that you don't overfill the water or else you're gonna drown your plants. And since Kratky doesn't have flowing water and flowing water has air in it, it needs to have a source of air for the roots. So the perlite system the perlite in the basket needs to be pretty much dry or just moist and not packed down so that air can flow freely through here, allowing the roots to get that oxygen to grow, but also have access downwards to get the nutrient solution. Hopefully that made some sense. Yeah, so now we've got this kind of pulled out right here. So yeah, I have more or less added enough nutrient solution recently, but let me crack open my gallon jug just to show you guys what's up. Pop this open, pour it on top. We'll just top her off a little bit. If I can get it to come out. Boom, add a little bit in there. And then yeah, the secret is just make sure the roots, filter back in there nicely. We don't want to waste any of these nice roots or don't allow them to access the water because that can shock the plant if the roots magically don't have water anymore. So yeah, just lightly set it on top and then boom, we've got a perfect hydroponic system. So yeah, that's how I grow lettuce year round. It's a very simple process and it's a fun learning experience. It helps you kind of jump into hydroponics without growing like this big, industrial size setup. And it's really fun and it can be really successful and really bountiful. And plus, who doesn't like fresh lettuce, in the winter, or just like a great gift to give your friend? They're like, oh my gosh, you gave me a head of lettuce. It's, snowing outside. So I highly recommend you guys giving this a try. And as always, if you like this video, please hit subscribe and leave a comment. And if I did anything wrong or you have any more information, please add that to the comments, as it's super helpful. I learn a lot and all my subscribers learn a lot thanks to you guys. So yeah, have a great Christmas, guys, and happy growing.